Adonai, page 13.
Sing early, sing often.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Friday evening Shabbat service. If you're joining us in person, we're glad to have you in the room with us. We hope you'll sing loudly to fill up this room with your voices. For those of you at home joining us on live stream, we can feel your presence here too, and we're so glad to have you with us. We are going to continue our service with Lecha Dodi. We're on page 23. We'll do the first paragraph together, and then we'll turn to page 25 for the final paragraph, where we'll stand up and face the door. If you're at home, you can face the entrance of whatever room you're sitting in. Page 23, Lecha Dodi. Actually, you can have a seat. I'm sorry about that. You can have a seat. We are on page 39A. I got to keep everybody awake here. Page 39A, at the bottom of the page, we bless God for this hour of nightfall. We join together in the Shema, page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha.
Continue quietly to ourselves at the top of page 42.
Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
We turn to page 44, Michamocha.
When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot, osei feleh.
We turn to page 45 for Hashkivenu. Here's where we'll really want you to join your voices with us. For those here in person, we'd love to hear your voices filling up this entire room. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
So this is a prayer for shelter too. So I really want to invite everybody, especially those of you at home who are sheltered in your homes, to really feel that shelter and sing out.
you to rise for Vishamru, page 46. So if you were writing a guide to something, to anything you could possibly write a guide to, you might include a little note in your guide that says, as our technology improves, there might be more efficient ways of doing this in the future. They might become apparent. Or maybe you'd write in, manual needs updating every 5 years, right? A little note like that. Maybe if you were training a new group of employees at a company, you could put in a requirement that they have to get retrained every so often to learn any kinds of updates. And there's a certain amount of self-awareness that comes with putting in that little note or having that requirement of getting retrained. It means you know that you don't know everything. It means you know that things are going to change, and you can't be expected to know at that moment what the world will look like in 5 years. So have you ever wondered about whether the Torah is self-aware in that way too? Does the Torah seem to know that it's being written in a particular time and place, and that it's going to have to be adapted if it's going to stay relevant? The Torah provides us with so many laws, examples for those laws, or details, specifics, and it can't, even with all those details and specifics, it can't possibly predict every situation that we're going to face. Right? There's new technology, so much that's new about the world, we have to keep interpreting, or else the Torah would become obsolete. When we study it, we interpret it, that's what helps keep the Torah's words alive and relevant so that we can live our lives by its lessons. So this week's Parsha Shoftim sets up a judicial system, and it tells us how seriously we have to take the words of our judges. It tells us, you shall not deviate from what they tell you to the right or to the left. Now the Torah, knowing that it could not possibly provide the answer for every case, puts its faith in the sages of each generation to interpret the law and enact it. And then once they've instituted those laws, that's it. It's set in stone. We're not supposed to deviate from it. We're not supposed to go to the right. We're not supposed to go to the left. But here's the thing. Our tradition has always welcomed debate and disagreement. That's not a modern phenomenon. That's what the entire Talmud is. An entire generation of rabbis. We have a written record of the disagreements of their entire generation. So the Jerusalem Talmud steps in to interpret this verse from our Parsha about not deviating to the right or to the left from what the judges say. The Jerusalem Talmud says, this is got to really listen, this is a tricky one. You might think that this means that if the sages tell you that right is left or left is right, you have to listen to them. But if you really listen carefully, the text says to the right and to the left. You shouldn't deviate from what they tell you to the right and to the left. And that means, the Jerusalem Talmud tells us, that means that you're supposed to listen to the judge's words and not deviate from them when they tell you that right is right and left is left. This is an amazing interpretation because all of a sudden the sages don't hold all the power anymore. They don't have this absolute decision-making power. It means that when a sage or a rabbi gives you an interpretation of a text that you think is completely wrong, the verse is telling you it doesn't apply. You should listen to them when right is right and left is left, and that's when you shouldn't deviate. But if they tell you that right is left and left is right, it doesn't apply. Listening to your sages and rabbis applies only when those sages and rabbis are getting it right. And that, of course, is completely up for interpretation. We're going to continue our service now with the Amidah, so we'll invite you to rise. We are on page 47, and you can take some time for personal prayer, personal meditation in the Hebrew or in the English. And as we get started, we'll sing together the first 6 words out loud. We're going to take a minute now and say a prayer for those who are in need of healing. We know that there are so many in our community and beyond. For anyone who's watching on the live stream, if you could use a little bit of healing, for anyone who has a loved one in need of healing, we are thinking of you, and we're joining together now in Rifa'inu. We rise for Aleinu, page 56.
Katuv b'Toratecha, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar, Adonai melech ha'aretz, hayom ha'hu yeh Adonai
You may be seated. Now that we are in the month of Elul, this is known as the season of repentance, we add a special psalm into our prayers, Psalm 27, which you can find on page 59. Chazan Mimi will sing a beautiful tune that hopefully you can sing along to. turn now to a moment of memorial, and this week we are lovingly remembering the following yahrzeits: Anne Sobel, Chas Eisner, Claire Finkel, Felicia Axelrod, Gilbert Gilbert, Rebecca Goldfarb, Ruth Gorlick, Sarah Clayman, Selma Loeb, Sydney Gitterman, Stanley Tannenbaum, Arthur Brenner, Betty Wohl, Daniel Temkin, David Silvers, Gladys Sachs, Harry Armis, Jacob Hill, Max Applebaum, Mordecai Aminia, Abram Litwack, Andy Gordon, Irving Rosenthal, Jules Hazelcorn, Molly Gold, Morris Flesher, Stuart X, Susan Enton, Susan Gottfried-Sage, Tilly Minkle, Edwin Epstein, Harry Elperin, Minna Hurwitz-Posner, Morris Chalom, Scheindel Drucker, Abe Chinsky, Ann Dater, Eileen Pastron, Leo Rosen, Oscar Everton, Victoria Rosow, Benjamin Goffrener, David Mason, Elizabeth Kovetsky, Eva Summers, Henry Sirad, Jack Barish, Lillian Konigsberg, Marvin Stearman, Meyer Rotter, Molly Waxman, Roberta Silver Zinn, Seymour Nugget, Bernice Bierber, Eugene Rothstein, Fanny Brotman, Florence Rosenberg, Heinz Barwald, Joseph Cassoy, Leon Feld, Martha Skolsky, Molly Sunderland, and Rebecca Zigman. We're also mindful of a few recent bereavements in our community: Barbara Liebskind, the mother of Lisa Leonard, Ron Siegel, father of Joel Siegel, Alan Cohan, father of David Cohan, and Jaden Asher Harrison, grandson of Shelley and Kenny Harrison. Our thoughts and hearts are with those families. For anyone who is in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, for anyone who has need or desire to recite the words of Kaddish, you can join with me on page 58 and rise. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mivarach le'olam olomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We have some announcements. We have our wonderful president, Debbie Strom, and she even has her son, Ben, here cheering her on to recite some announcements for us.
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to those here in the sanctuary with us and to those watching over live stream. Tomorrow morning, please join Rabbi Vogel at 9:15. That'll be on Zoom for BLT, Breakfast, Learning, and Torah. And don't forget, because it's on Zoom, you will need to provide your own breakfast. Visit aliyahlive.org for the Zoom link. Our morning service here in the sanctuary will start at 10 o'clock, in person and online. And if you come here, no RSVP is necessary. Please just come. Tomorrow afternoon at 4:45, tune into our YouTube channel as we celebrate the Benot Mitzvah of Ava and Eli Tazur. Next Friday night, at 8 o'clock, join us in person for Sunset Shabbat, which is a new every third Shabbat theme envisioned by Chazan Stein, and we are getting close to the end of the summer. Next Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, we are delighted to celebrate the Bat Mitzvah of Hannah Cooper, and at our afternoon Mincha service next Saturday, we look forward to the Bar Mitzvah of Colin Altman. We hope to see you online or in person. And finally, have you reserved your High Holy Day seats yet? Rosh Hashanah is less than 4 weeks away, so don't wait. Capacity is going to be limited to allow for social distancing, and the early sanctuary service is filling up. Visit templealiyah.org to see the full High Holy Day schedule, renew your membership, and choose your seats. We are also excited to see each other safely in person as much as we can, so keep checking our website and reading your emails for the latest events. Shabbat Shalom.
Added bonus to anybody who comes in person tomorrow morning, although we don't have an oneg or a kiddush luncheon, There will be some ice cream after services.
We know you all turn out for ice cream, so we expect to see everybody tomorrow.
We all scream for ice.
We are going to conclude our service with Adon Olam on page 211.
And we're actually going to just do the very last verse, Biyado,
All right.
tuned by Craig Talman, and I hope you'll join with me.